Not that kind of Christian here. Good morning. Second part of my story, The Sash My Father Wore, will follow later on today. I've just got to record it. I don't have it with me at the moment. But just sitting outside Asda and thinking about stuff that is going on and stuff we are reading in the media. Now, first of all, especially regards Palestine and the Israeli invasion, the Israeli occupation thereof. If you're a Christian, please don't be confused with all this stuff about the Jews are God's special people. All people are God's people, not just the Jews. Every single human being, every created person, or whatever you want to call them on this earth, they're all God's people. Now, another one, especially if you're a Christian. The Jews, the Israelis that you read about in the Old Testament, Moses, Job, poor old Job, he didn't exactly have an easy time of it, did he? Isaiah, all the Old Testament prophets, minor and major, from major to minor, they're not the same Israelis or Jews as you have now, okay? They came from, although you could say they come from a Jewish line or a Jewish tradition, many of the Jews that you find in Palestine are what we call Ashkenazi Jews. They would have emigrated to Palestine after Israel had occupied the land and set the state up, and many of the Ashkenazi Jews would have come from Europe, and I am not denying, of course, the Holocaust, as I expect I will be accused of doing. So please bear that in mind. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but there's a meme going around that says, Jesus, for what it's worth, well, he certainly wasn't white. He may have looked Arab, possibly Palestinian, but he wasn't a white man. Okay, let's just get that clear as we're celebrating Jesus' birth. What do I want? I want the genocide to stop. And it is genocide. Make no doubt about it. I don't know where I read this or whatever. But let's just take children. It has been calculated, and I think perfectly fairly so, that the Nazis were killing, exterminating, gassing less Jewish children, than the Israelis are now doing to Arab children through bombs and phosphorus bombs and stuff like that on a sort of per daily or per weekly basis. Think about that, will you, please? This is a genocide, yeah? It is an absolute genocide. And the West, okay, the UN said stop, yep. But the US, they raise their bloodied hand, their hand dripping with blood. And they said, no, Israel has the right to defend itself. And they supply more of the weapons that are causing these absolutely horrific injuries. Britain, dear old Britain, dear old Rishi. It's all about economics, isn't it? And British weapons are going out there as well. If you're a trade unionist and you work in any of these industries, boycott them. pick it. If we can do, let's